Am I the asshole? For not showing up to my sister's wedding and calling her ungrateful? Edit: I had asked her for $600 and spent around 15–20K for her treatment. I know she had the money because she'd recently got a job that was high enough and she would have been able to pay me. The wedding was being paid for our parents and the grooms. No, I didn't say that I had cured her per se. I told her that I had paid for her medications treatment, which essentially helping in treating her. X200B. My sister Ashley had her wedding yesterday, but I didn't attend it. 2 years or so ago, when she was going through medical depression and required treatment, I had helped her. She didn't have the money and I was the one who paid everything for her, etc. None of her friends had helped, and neither did any of our other relatives. Much later, when she had gotten out of her issues, I once urgently required some money. I asked her and she refused by saying she can't help and to not bother her about it again. I was shocked considering how much I had spent for her, and when she continued to refuse I asked her whether she had forgotten what I had done for her. Ashley asked me how I can say that I cured her when it was the medicines that worked, and that I wasn't the doctor. She said it was the medicines and the doctor that treated her and not me. I didn't argue. When the wedding date was fixed I told her that I am not coming. She was surprised and asked me why, and I told her that I have better things to do with my time than attending weddings of people like her. She got mad and asked me what my problem was, and that she wants everyone to be present. She asked me to not insult her. I told her that she herself had insulted me by brushing away everything I did for her, and that she's extremely ungrateful for not helping me with money when she could have. I told her I hadn't even asked her back the money I had spent on her, but she had no humanity at all. We had an argument and everyone asked me to forget about she said and to attend. But I didn't attend her wedding and I didn't even congratulate her. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. It is one thing if she had said I can't help you because I don't have the money, which would have been fair. But forgetting who paid for treatment is a nasty move. That being said, I would be very clear with the rest of the family as to why you refused to go. Don't be insulting, just state how this happened and made you feel. You didn't help me, the doctors and the medicine did, so I don't owe you anything. You didn't take me to work daily for a year, your car did, so I don't owe you anything. You didn't feed me, the food from the supermarket did, so I don't owe you anything. I would want to stay as far away as possible from a person that uses this kind of logic. Not the asshole. Info: what reason did she give for not giving you money? Not the asshole and good for you standing your ground. Ashley asked me how I can say that I cured her when it was the medicines that worked, and that I wasn't the doctor. She said it was the medicines and the doctor that treated her and not me. Yeah, but you paid for those medicines and medical staff to cure her. X200B. Everyone asked me to forget about she said and to attend, of course they did. It's easy to say that when it's not their money she used to cure her. X200B. Edit: forgot to add when she gets pregnant and asks you to foot her medical bills, tell her to fuck off. Info: OP, did you tell your sister you cured her at some point in the conversation, or did she herself say how can I say that I cured her just out of nowhere and with no prompting of your own? Info: did you actually say you cured her? The difference between helped and cured is huge, so I think that detail is important. Not the asshole. Obviously your help for her isn't transactional and she isn't the asshole for not giving you money, but she is the asshole for brushing you off like that and not being grateful. Her not appreciating what you did for her again, this is done by actions and not money, is a fair reason to not come to her wedding. Not the asshole. Family helps when family can. You could help her and did. Assuming she had the funds you needed and simply chose not to help, that makes her tar. I don't see you bringing up the help you gave her as using it as leverage, but as simply saying I helped you because you're family, why can't you help me? Which is a fair question. Info: what was your emergency? And how did you figure she had the money to help you and chose not to? It sounds like you helped her previously because you could, without financially killing yourself, knowing she was going through a medical emergency that required treatment. What was your emergency that you expected her to prioritize over whatever was going on in her life at the time? I asked her and she refused by saying she can't help. Info: is it possible she didn't have the money to help you? Ashley asked me how I can say that I cured her when it was the medicines that worked, and that I wasn't the doctor. She said it was the medicines and the doctor that treated her and not me. Info: did you tell her that without you she wouldn't be cured? Info: how much money did you request? How do you know she could afford that? Info: how much money were you asking for? Just because her depression is gone doesn't mean she's in a position to be lending money to people. Info: in both cases, how much money are we talking about? That's great you helped when she had no one else, Op. I do however need to know. How much of a financial burden were those bills on you? Did y'all discuss any contingent plans? How solvent was she when you asked for assistance for yourself? Those are all extremely important details to this situation. Info: what did you need the money for? She said it was the medicines and the doctor that treated her and not me. Which is true. You helped her get better by paying for the healthcare though, and that does count. Info: how much did you spend versus how much did you need? If you are uncomfortable with the exact amounts, what is the percentage? Info: there's a massive difference between necessary medical costs and other things. What was it you needed money for? Info: do you know, for a fact, she could have paid you back without jeopardizing her cost of living budget, or are you speculating? Was there ever an agreement to pay you back? Info: did you say that you cured her depression? Did you use that phrasing specifically? Info: did you ever discuss a repayment plan or talk at all about the money prior to your urgent request? Not the asshole for not attending the wedding. If you're still holding this grudge, you shouldn't be at their wedding. However, I feel like this is the kind of thing you do want to have a conversation about sooner or later. The doctors and the medicines cured her, but it's convenient for her to forget who paid for those. Not the asshole. Don't spend a single cent on her again. Not the asshole, but only because she started the drama. Not the asshole. When someone makes it clear that the relationship is transactional and always to their benefit, feel free to burn that bridge down to the ground. Definitely not the asshole. Ignore her. You are doing the right thing. Not the asshole. God, I hope her partner divorces her. Natar BTW. Not the asshole at all. It's interesting how everyone downplays the entitled crazy crap that entitled people say, but expect those of us who speak up for ourselves to be quiet and let it all go. Frankly, I'm with you, tired of having to adjust my behavior to accommodate some entitled narcissistic ass dysfunction. Going against the grain and say you're the asshole. Your view of helping your sister overcome depression is purely transactional. You helped her and you expected her to be in your debt because of that. That's not how it works. You help someone because you want to, with no expectation of retribution unless you stated it beforehand that help came with strings attached. Info: what happened after she was released from the hospital? Did you become closer to each other? Not the asshole, simply for the fact she said it was the doctors and medicine that helped her, which she wouldn't have had if you hadn't paid for it. I asked her and she refused by saying she can't help and to not bother her about it again. Info: was she in a good enough position to help you financially? Not the asshole, you didn't have to help her but you did. She owed you but claimed she didn't when you asked for help. She wanted everyone at her wedding. You were done with doing favors for ungrateful people. You did the right thing. ESH. Her behavior is unacceptable but so is yours. Your relationship sounds very transactional. I did something for you so now you have to do something for me. Maybe she didn't realize that you had paid, or she could have a condition you haven't stated that means she takes everything literally and doesn't necessarily see the connection, cause and effect. Natar.